So let's begin the next game here. It is going to be on Ohana.
Ret getting a little bit upset about that last game. That's the power we as casters have, by the way. When someone throws a hissy fit, you gotta go. Ret can't do that, man. Of course, there's gonna be some downtime. But while you're busy following Ret on Twitter, by the way, Liquid.Ret, do follow him there. You can also follow us. Paul, what's your new Twitter? You've changed it?
I did change it.
Can you tell that story, by the way, please?
All right, I'll do it after the player intros. Let's get into game. As now the map is loading. And of course, we do have in the bottom right Liquid.Ret. There he is, looking a little bit tired and exhausted himself. Been a long day for everyone. You know, approaching the 9-hour mark now, I suppose, for everyone playing. And of course, his opponent, spawning in the top left, is of course Empire.Kas. Scratching, is he going to 2-racks again, or not? But going back to that story, yes, of course, my Twitter is Apollo SC2, yours is, of course, EG in control. But with the Twitter story is that I changed from the Apollo 1337, as many people told me to change it, and eventually I sucked it up and changed. The funniest thing ever was that about 15 seconds after I changed it, the Apollo 1337 was snapped up instantly.
Same profile, same picture.
Same profile, same picture, same wallpaper, same profile picture, same description, same everything, and was even tweeting as me.
Same wallpaper?
Yeah, everything. It was actually mirrored. It was completely normal.
And the funny part too is they did all that work not to tweet things like, "Hey Caldor, I hate you and I think you're a bad commentator," you know, something that would get you into trouble. But he just was like, "Hey, follow me here and check out this tournament that I'm doing."
Probably does a better job of Twitter than I do.
He actually stole your identity.
Yeah, and you know, very simply, all he did was go ahead and be like, "Well, I'm casting TSL for tonight. Hope you guys tune in." There was a time that you were talking about some game, and he was like, "Oh, you should just forget it next time." And I'm reading this like, that isn't me. Like, I'm not saying these things. I changed.
The friendliest troll in the whole universe, where he's like building up the trust of the new people that think they're following you, only to then. Oh, it's time for us to all commit suicide. It's like, no, don't do that. Paul says no. All right, getting into the game a little bit here. Ohana, of course, which means
family.
Thank you.
I did learn that at Home Story Cup.
Very well.
Thank you, Dennis. Tick.
And what do you think about this ZVT? I know you play both sides of this matchup. Does it have any pros or cons, or is this just a pretty straight-up match?
To be honest, if this gets late game, I think Kas is going to be in great shape. One of the big strengths of playing Terran on this map is once it gets to fourth bases, as Zerg, it's very difficult to establish one. It's either going to be on the left or right side, of course. Both of them usually don't have intensive creep spread away from the base because it's so close to the opponent's Zelnaga Tower, which can easily deny creep. And then, you know, the mobility of Marine Marauders just outclasses the immobility of Broodlord Infestor, where you are going to be losing these bases at a rapid speed. So I think that if Ret wants to draw this up, he's actually going to have to do it in the early mid stages unless he has something special planned for late.
We've seen a lot of Zergs try to achieve an advantage in that late game by going for a mid-game either Ling Baneling bust or sometimes even a Roach Baneling bust. Liquid.Ret, of course, being a team Liquid Zerg, meaning that there is at some point in time going to be a Roach Baneling bust. This map, however, not particularly good for that. This is not the smallest ramp, but it's also certainly not the largest, which means that a lot of times Terrans can stage a pretty good defense there at an inexpensive cost.
And Kas has taken double gas immediately after the barracks, and you know, one of the most usual builds that we see nowadays from Terran players is just going up to Reactor Hellion into Cloak Banshee. That's actually a very strong build on a map like this too, where it's more difficult to creep spread straight away across.
Yeah.
Could be something that Kas may try to topple his opponent, but you know, Kas can also, with one game comfort lead, take risks.
Yes, that is the privileged position, especially in a best of 5, where you know you actually have to lose 2 more matches to be out of it. So if there was ever a time to cheese, this would be it. But at least in the, I don't know, I mean, he does have double gas, reactor, factory. I mean, this is looking to be pretty standard stuff. It is factory after command center. Does he do mech here? I've actually, knowing that Suppy was training for, oh, there's the third command center. It's a bit of a risk there. But Kas, well, excuse me, Suppy from Team of Genius was training for Kas, and he heard kind of through the grapevine that does a lot of mech, but we haven't seen that yet.
I haven't actually seen that. I've seen it a couple of times on his stream, but not too often. I don't think it's his preferred style.
Okay.
But he's very, very able to do that. But I'm very interested to see, because right now he has 2 options, Cloak Banshee or double Engineering Bay. And with the starport coming down, it's going to be Cloak Banshee. So I guess he could do non-cloak and still go double Engineering Bay.
Yeah.
I guess.
We've definitely seen both of those. And to your point, I want to kind of limelight this. the reason you would do a Banshee Hellion opener is because of the distance between the third. It's really reliable on creep. If you can isolate a queen or two with those Hellions and Banshees, you can stop any kind of multi-pronged defense of that third. If you don't have the queens that both act as Hellion but also Banshee repellent, then you're in trouble. You're probably going to lose that third, and that's where a lot of Terrans unravel their Zerg opponents. But as we can see here, there's a Roach Warren going down. He is on 3 gas, and guess what, Apollo? If I had less of an ego, I would play this down, but I'm about to be super right. And we're not casting from replays. This is going to be a Roach Bailey bust. I'm almost certain of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, the Bailey nest wouldn't be there. I'm joking. Yeah, Roach Bailey bust now. Going to be pretty big here. The thing is, though, that his opponent has like really one of the best defenses against it too.
You think so?
Aside from early tanks, yeah. I think like if he makes consistent Banshees with 3 CCs. I think it's okay. He's not getting cloak, so that's okay as well, because he will have earlier upgrades too. But it's all going to be about the defense right now. Kas, there is a drone that's faking out like a third, so Kas isn't quite sure what's going on, but he needs to find out. If Kas can find out and just continue to build Banshees, because he may stop Banshee production, which is going to be really, really difficult to hold on to, because you need a lot of Banshees, otherwise you literally don't have enough damage output.
He stopped Hellion production, and there's nothing more being built on that starport. I mean, my problem here, no bunker, 1 Marine out.
He sees and builds an immediate Marauder and another Banshee immediately. He needs a bunker down. And Kas may be out of hold, but it's going to be difficult still.
Speed Lings, man. I mean, the Banshee could do good against the Roaches, I suppose. But the Lings, they're going to have their time. And here they go. They're trying to get surrounded the Hellions. They do get thwarted. That's 6 Hellions going over to join what will, I guess, be a Marauder and perhaps a second Banshee. But this is going to be tough.
There's no wall off on the high ground either, so it's actually not like he can evacuate efficiently and still be able to hold his main. So you know, this becomes a lot more difficult than I initially predicted here. So we'll see how well it's going to do. The initial evacuation is coming down. A second Banshee's on his way out. He needs to target down the Baileys, but look how many there actually are. The Hellions are going to be crucial here. If he can splash damage on the Hellions and Banshees bringing them down.
Yeah, the Baileys are going through there. He's getting great focus fire. Most of the Baileys do go down, and Kas seems to be doing the unthinkable. The Roach count is starting to thin out. None of the Banshees Baileys connect, and now those Hellions are starting to get targeted down by the Roaches. But guess what? This attack has had the meat of it taken out, and behind this he is droning. So I really thought the Kas was dead, but he's done a great defense.
Yeah, that was absolutely a spectacular defense. Now he's on 3 command centers. He's got 1 upgrades, halfway done. He's actually in the best position possible to set up to finish this series off. You know, is he going to drop the ball, though? That's the big question now. Ret is a player that can easily play from behind. He's shown it before in many tournaments, but look how late the evolution chambers are. And I don't know how he's actually going to be able to do anything here. It's going to be very, very difficult, but Ret is one player that has to pull something out of the bag.
And I mean, you said it correctly. He is behind. Double engineering bay, 3 command centers. This is what would be considered a greedy opening. I mean, the big thing here was that Ret tried to go up the ramp with minimal Roach count, but very high Bailey count. That was...
And with 3 Banshees out as well, they don't have Cloak, but with Hellions there, he's... Oh, no, the drones! The drones! Ret, this is not what he needs to make a comeback, and that is losing his drones a lot. Go down, Aspire's on the way. Maybe that's going to be the comeback here. But Ret now, if you look at this, Ret was the one that planned the all-in, yet has lost 4 drones and workers. You know, that doesn't make any sense right now.
And it's not even over. The 4 Queens are going to do everything they can to discourage these Banshees from continuing their slaughter. But if you look at that drones loss count, well, it's actually only 13.
13, but that's still pretty big, I guess.
From a guy that was behind, that's death.
Yeah.
You know, and the count's growing here.
Oh,
not as many as I thought, but it's really bad when you're behind. I mean, it's part of what goes on the tombstone.
And you know, right now, the Ling's trying to do something, aren't going to be able to do anything. Sees the 3rd base saturated. Ret now looking for answers, looking for something to come back with. 5 more barracks. Kas is saying, hey, mid-game, mine.
4th command center, even.
Just smashing it through right now, and Kas has just played a perfect game. He's nailing every aspect of it so far.
He's definitely coming alive. I mean,
even Micro, look at that.
We talked about how tired he was, and normally that would be where we forgive his play, but there's no forgiving needed here. He's playing at an extremely high level, and this is the Kas that we've known to fear online. That guy's been an absolute monster, and he's starting to look a lot like it.
The only thing is, you know, maybe through fatigue, he has skipped his turrets. That's something he may not be expecting Ret to do, especially from playing behind.
That's 14 mutas too.
And that's gonna rip through SCV lines, no problem. And now they're just coming down. God damn it, Kas. Just like every angle covered.
They do build quick too. It doesn't take long. And I love the little attention to detail that Kas is doing. Look at that depot wall at his third. A bunker may or may not go behind that, but even that little wall off slows down Ling run-bys. He's playing really well. I like this style.
2-2 almost finished, and they're gonna just
Holy
gonna
crap.
pull mutas out the sky. It's just not even gonna be funny when they do die.
Apollo, count those reactors in the main. It is
How
1,
many?
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reactors on the 6 barracks, so he's got 1 for upgrading.
Wow.
No
So
armor
13
actually,
Marines per
or
cycle.
combat shield needs to be upgraded, but that's a lot of Marines, dude.
And in come the mutas now. Kas does not know about it yet. May lose his 4th command center easily here, which could bring Ret back into the game a little bit here. Is Ret going to dedicate to the SCV line or turn back for the command center? He's going to go for the SCV line.
This is a virgin mineral line. It is completely open and bare, and it's going to get torn apart. Marines do chase off these mutas. I almost feel like Ret's over-respecting those Marines. Well, I guess they are 2-2, and he's respecting, but he might fly over these Marines. Got to be careful.
He's stuck.
There's no airspace back here,
No.
so he has to fight these Marines.
But they do not have combat shields, but they do have 2-2, so
They're
look at it.
reinforced.
Look how bad they're getting ripped
Yeah.
out the sky. Ret. Oh no, they're trapped. They're actually trapped.
They're
no.
fully trapped. That's it, GG.
GG. Ret just calls GG, knows how far behind he actually is, and Kas will take the victory after being so tired there, Jeff. And 3-1, Kas takes out Ret, and Kas moves on to fight another day.
Okay, Suppy, Kas, Ret, Meteor Rain.
Yeah.
Ret doesn't advance. Is that the biggest upset today?
I think maybe. I mean, maybe Huck could be classed up there as well, but I think Ret. Yeah. I think that's the biggest one.
It's certainly a big one. He came in. He's
like gone to bed. He's like, see you later, guys.
like I said, I'm not trying to draw this out
Yeah.
to make him feel bad. It's actually a big storyline. Ret is one of the best European, if not non-Korean Zergs.
Yeah.
He just is. His accolades, his performance, his potential, it's all there. He's absolutely amazing. And one thing to talk about, too, though, is not every pro gamer is going to have a great tournament every time. And here at ASUS ROG, today, Kas overcame the elements. Suppy proved to be not just a flash in the pan. He's living up to his hype. And Ret, unfortunately, is the victim of that.
And to be honest, seeing Kas at so many live events now and seeing him play, as you said, through the elements today, I think this could very well be his tournament if he actually recovers for tomorrow. If he plays like that now...
This will be the best sleep he's ever had. He's going to be like, I get to play tomorrow?
At 2
Ah,
p.m.?
shit.
Is that when it starts, at 2
Yeah.
p.m.? That's if he's in, what,
He
group
might
1
sleep
or 2?
through it. That's the next concern. That's the next element he has to overcome. He's going to sleep for like 26 hours or something like that.
Sleeps through his group stage games. He may actually be in group 3 or 4 of tomorrow, which means he'd play even later on as well. So I'm not sure if we get another game or not, but I'm sure that one guy will know. And that
James
will
is
be,
saying yes.
will be James.
The actual last samurai over there, James, is telling us that we do have another cast to do.
We will stay and work for the rest of the night. Kas goes home, but the casters stay on, which I'm quite happy to do so. So we are going to throw it over to James, and of course,